Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It's 7:37, and we're not missing a beat here on this busy Wednesday morning in your nation's capital. Thanks for tuning into O'Connor and Company. Coming up at 8:05, David Bozell, Media Research Center, about the rescission package sent to Congress yesterday by the Trump administration that will defund NPR. Finally. 8:35, Jenny Terr, New York Post. It's Larry O'Connor with Julie Gunlock. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning.
As you know, a longtime Congressman of Northern Virginia, Jerry Connolly, passed away several weeks ago, and the mourning is over. It's time now for the special election to see who will represent that district in the House of Representatives. Joining us right now, Karina Lipsman, who would like to be that congressperson. Karina, thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Larry, and good morning, Julie. Thanks again for having me.
So, first of all, if you could just give us the details on how this process works. Is there actually going to be a primary process, or the parties? How do the parties determine who the candidate might be? What are the dates here on this election?
Yeah, so this kind of happened pretty quickly. Total whirlwind of 2.5 weeks from the time that Jerry announced that he was not going to seek re-election to then passing away, not even a month afterwards. So Governor Youngkin just announced yesterday that September 9th is going to be the special election, and that's going to be the general. Mm-hmm. And the Republican Party, as well as the Democratic Party, has to choose their nominees. And as you know, both fields have a few folks. Democrats have a few more than the Republicans who have joined the race. And they have decided on June, I believe, 17th as their primary, and the Republicans have yet to decide. So Hopefully we'll hear something at the end of this week.
Okay. Well, why don't you reintroduce people to the district, the 11th district? You are not completely unfamiliar. You have run for office before. Give everybody the breakdown.
Sure. So the 11th district is the majority of, so it's all Fairfax County and parts of eastern Prince William County. So it goes from Great Falls in the north, right outside the Beltway in the east, down to the Occoquan, the top of the Occoquan in the south, and then out towards Chantilly in the west. So it's a pretty big district. The demographic is very interesting because a lot of folks that live in this district are minority, are immigrants, and these are the folks that, we really want to make sure that their voices are heard. And that's something that I did during my last cycle as well when I ran in 2022, because, as you both know, I grew up in the Soviet Union, came here, did not speak English, lived in low-income housing on welfare, raised by a single mother, put myself through college, became a U.S. citizen when I turned 18, and had a successful career in national security. So I can understand the struggles and what these people are going through. So it's an easy connection, and being able to bring them into politics, bring them into the fold, I think is so important. And I think that's what President Trump did really well, is he connected with people who otherwise would have never come out to vote or voted for Democrats in the past, because he spoke directly to them.
Karina, I'm wondering if you can talk about what is thought to be your opponent. I know there's a lot of people on the Democrat side that are in the primary, but James Walkinshaw, he's a member of the Fairfax County Board, and he was Connolly's chief of staff. Connolly actually endorsed him before his death. Looks like he might he's sort of the front runner right now. What can you say about him? Also, he has sort of announced that he's a fierce opponent of Donald Trump. How do you keep I'd love you to comment on him, but also, how do you move this race beyond just Trump, 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 Trump?
Sure. And Julie, thank you so much. But, his job has been Connolly's chief of staff, and he was on the board of supervisors.
Yes.
So all he's done the entire time is talk about how we need to make sure that we're helping the low-income class, that we're bringing up the middle class. Yet he's the one that has been raising taxes. 2 weeks ago, Fairfax County Board of Supervisors raised the food and beverage tax by 4%.
Yep.
He's making it unaffordable for people to live in this area. So this is not someone that we want in Congress. And, it's not about the president. It's not about anyone else. It's about the people of Northern Virginia. It's about the people of the 11th District. And that's really what I'm focused on.
It's Karina for Congress.com. That's Karina with a K. And in your final moments here, you like as you said, you were born in the Soviet Union. I think former people who grew up in communist countries are the most important and articulate voices about warning where our country could be headed with some of the policies that we see and some of the forces we see in this country. If you could just sort of summarize that for us quickly about what your focus might be and how, sadly, we actually see great similarities between the leftist movement in this country now and what you suffered under in the Soviet Union.
Yes, and I currently work for a foundation called the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation, which is very fitting. And our message is to educate the public on the horrors of communism. And those horrors include indoctrination. So I remember in first grade where I was indoctrinated in my math class, where we had a math problem that was you have 5 loaves of bread, 2 greedy Americans take 1 loaf each. How many are you left with? And from the first grade, you're already taught to hate certain values, Western values, Americans, et cetera. And we've seen here with the indoctrination in the school systems, we've seen the overreach in government. We've seen dependency on government rising and less self-reliance. And I think that's part of my message is that we ensure that every single American gets to experience the American dream. So that's why I'm running for Congress.
Well, and you mentioned the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation. We love those folks. They're a great organization as well, always has been. So, listen, always excited to talk with you, excited about your race here, and it's going to be a bit of a sprint. So keep us in touch and up to date on what's going on with this.
Will do. Thank you both again. Have a wonderful day.
You bet. It's 7:44.